we want good data. Outside of legal, people are thrilled to have data quality of 70%. We have automated data sources that'll get you 70% correct data. Like in a law firm, 70% will get you fired, right?
We get 70% of your lawsuit correct. That tends to not be an acceptable thing for attorneys. And I think they tend to hold anybody else that they work with or any product that they use to a similar standard.
The first thing that you need to do is assess the mess. Figure out how bad is your data. If you're getting a new system, right, you may not want to move. If you've had your system 10, 15 years, you probably don't want to move all that data. You definitely don't want to clean all that data. It can cost more than the CRM system. So helping figure out strategically, what are the right contacts to move, who are, maybe key client data, top lists, getting all that data together and getting it cleaned and deduplicated. Because again, as attorneys, we all know the same people. Some of us have good data, some is bad, and it's got to be researched, but you want to minimize the amount of data. So you want to do a really strong assessment process up front.
Why do law firms implement CRM systems, or what are the main reasons that prompt law firms to implement CRM systems?
CRM systems are about communication, coordination, and client service, and of course, business development. And law firms of all types and sizes really are focused on those areas. So I think that's why CRM has been, such an important piece of technology over the years.
What are the most common uses of CRMs in law firms?
Yeah. Well, so use in most firms kind of starts with contact management and list and event management. Those are some of the fundamental capabilities that CRM systems provide. In law firms, we write, we speak, we do events and webinars and seminars. And so that's a really big need, and CRM fills that need very, very well. These are things that are maybe not exciting, but essential.
What are some of the features CRMs law firms should be implementing but aren't being utilized enough, in your opinion, or does that kind of piggyback on business development stuff?
The big thing is activity tracking. That's one of those things that everybody agrees it would be incredibly valuable to be able to know who's taking who to lunch, who are we doing proposals with. But the challenge with that is those have to be entered manually. A lot of things in CRM we've been able to automate. But that's one that you really just can't, because the information lives in the attorney's head. Probably one of the biggest firm challenges is to get attorneys to sort of function that way and think like salespeople.
These people are billing their time in 6-minute increments. Obviously, there needs to be a culture change, but what are some of the things that make it smoother? Let's just say that.
So there's actually a tool that I'm a big fan of called ERM, or Enterprise Relationship Management.
Right.
And it is a technology, most of the CRMs in the legal vertical do have it built in, but there are also some freestanding systems. And what they do is they create the contacts from the signature blocks of the emails. So the attorneys don't have to deal with contact, data entry, and collection and updating. In the ERM systems, we'll create good contacts because, frankly, if you just got a signature block, it's probably right. The information is probably good.
You founded CLIENTSFirst Consulting 15 years ago to, I'm not trying to age you. You must have founded it when you were 15. What are some of the wins that you've had, or some of the ways that you've been able to help firms succeed over the years?
Yeah. So, key thing that we do, I think that firms have found particularly valuable is it's called a CRM success assessment. And so, whether you're getting your first CRM system or you're looking to change systems or just improve your current implementation, we come in and we started talking at the beginning of our conversation, really getting to know the firm. So we do meetings with key stakeholders throughout the firm to really understand their different needs and requirements. The last thing you want to do is, we need a CRM. Let's figure out what everybody else is using, because that has proven over time to be a recipe for disaster. Instead, it's all about your unique firm, your needs, requirements, and culture.
Are there any initiatives, to help smaller firms?
We've actually come up with a new piece of software we're about to come out with that hopefully is going to make it easier for smaller firms to get a system to do, what they need to help capture and augment the data and do lists. And so we're pretty excited about that.